Welcome everybody to another episode of the TTS Surgery. Let's go! Alright, so this is season 7. We got Nana in the building, we got Adnan, and we got Hacks.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yes.
Alright. So today we're going to be talking about SEN, right? And we got a guest here, Nana, who actually has got SEN Bites. Check him out on on Instagram, and he actually is a consultant with the government on these kind of topics, right? So Nana, the question actually is why is there an increase in SEN needs?
I don't think that there's an increase. I think it's always been there, but there's more ways and different ways to identify the needs a bit earlier. Because I think even when I go back to secondary school, a lot of the young people that were labelled as naughty or disruptive or any other negative connotation, I believe when I look back with my SEN hat on now, a lot of them had some undiagnosed needs.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a lot of expertise, knowledge, or information about it back then. But now there's a lot of emphasis on like diagnosis and targeted work a lot earlier as well, as far as even nursery. There's early years teams. You can do referrals to like CAMS a lot earlier. Go through your pediatrician, GP, whatever. There's a lot of early work. So I don't think there's an increase in needs. I think there's an increase of since COVID for young people with special educational needs, I do believe there's been an increase of anxiety and depression, mental health needs, because COVID has an impact on that. But in terms of needs, in terms of like autism, ADHD, that's always been there. But now it's getting targeted a lot earlier.
Okay.
I think just adding on to that, you've got YouTube parenting going on at the moment. Kids are exposed to YouTube and online platforms at such an early age. That must have a negative impact on kids' brains. Therefore, as they grow up, they have increased mental concerns, mental issues, neurological concepts going on in their minds that relate to SEN. Do you think that maybe could cause the increase of SEN needs? Because I think that has a huge impact on.
But you see what he says. I'm gonna let you answer, Nana, because you do know. You see what I think. What he's separated, SEN between mental health issues that we all have, anxiety, depression, these kind of things that affects mental health. But then you've got actual, like you said, neurological or like general SEN, which is special needs, like autism with and things like that, right? So people that have like bipolar and these kind of issues, right? So are you asking how does like YouTube
There must
and
be a
things like that?
correlation.
You think there's a correlation?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you think that?
No, I don't. I haven't seen anything that backs that up, from my opinion. I do think obviously social media has a role to play in terms of young people that do have special educational needs or other young people that got mental health needs, but I wouldn't say that's increased the needs specifically.
Because kids' brains are not functioned up until the age of 18,
the developing
19.
age,
They're still the brains are still
The
developing.
frontal lobe, 25,
And if they're being exposed to online YouTube platforms at such an early age, which in generations hasn't been the case, I feel like this has been the reason why SEN needs or mental health issues have increased in society. Why now there's more SEN diagnosis.
I think for me, in terms of like YouTube and all of these platforms, like I think maybe it distracts them a bit more. But I wouldn't say that it adds to their needs per se. I just think that all of these things need to get managed. Everything is meant to be in like small doses. Yeah. To be honest, I think everyone needs to be managed.
Hacks, I know you got something to say, right?
Yes, I do.
But we do have something that's somebody actually had messaged us with a question.
Wicked.
That I think is related to this episode. Do you want to say what you're going to say before? Do you want to hear what this question is?
Say what the member of the
So again, guys, if you to all our listeners, if you do have a question or maybe you have a scenario you want us to advise you about, feel free to message us, because this is one that came in. And because it relates to the show, it's a good time to talk about. So it's basically it's a parent. This comes from a parent, says that, and by the way, it's not just parents, it's students as well. Students, if you're a student, young person listening to this, and you want to ask teachers a question, then feel free. So this is a parent that says, basically, I can't ignore what I'm seeing. When I was in school, special needs were rare. Now my son's class has several children with ADHD, autism, or learning difficulties. Teachers are overwhelmed and parents are desperate for support. I've spoken to other parents. Some say it's better awareness. Others say it's the system failing our kids. But I can't shake the feeling that something bigger is going on. I don't know what to do. Is this just a case of better diagnosis, or are more children struggling than ever before?
Interesting, because it kind of links into what I was going to say. Um, okay, first and foremost, I work in a SCMH school, a secondary environment.
SCMH, so you said that before,
I have said
but I want you
before,
to say it
just
again.
to clarify for those of the uninitiated, social, emotional, mental health issues or struggles. It comes under the SCN umbrella.
Wow.
And as you were saying, it's more of the neuroses. You're dealing with depression, you're dealing with anxiety, but you can also be dealing with the clinical diagnoses like ADHD, OCD, and so on and so forth. Okay, now, again, so that's my point, that's my bent, that's where I come from, that's my wheelhouse, yeah? However, I feel like because diagnosis has now become easier, you have people that are using it as a cop-out. And I'm going to say that. So I have people and young people that I see are clearly in need and clearly have a need that's been diagnosed and that needs support. But also see people that are claiming struggles, probably on the mental health spectrum, more so with the anxiety and depression side, where, and I'm going to say it, where maybe there should be a bit more resilience. Because maybe sometimes struggle is just that. It is the struggle. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that you're weak or that you're incapable. It means that you're facing the struggle, and that's an adversity that you are meant to come through the other side. Okay. Now, again, I throw it out there because I'm a great believer in support, obviously, especially with the environment I work in. But I am also a believer in that human beings, by their very nature, will look for the easiest route. And we have a certain facet of our character as human beings that will be like, do you know what? I'm struggling, and it's because I have this, and so therefore I need this. Whereas maybe it's just a case of, actually, this is part of your journey, and you've got to push through.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna say it because you guys can't. Yeah, because I can say it. Now, this is my opinion. My opinion, not related to any of these lot. And I do think, and again, you're gonna hear a lot of like older people saying it, that this cotton wool generation, we're just softening these kids, and as a result, they even neurologically, they're not developing the actual systems and resilience needed to cope with life. And as a case, because they don't have that, then we're not actually creating people, adults, that will have that resilience in life due to the softening or overly mollycoddling that we're doing, right? Now, I'm really interested to hear what you've got to say about it, especially you, Nana, but Adnan, you're saying something, because you work in that field.
No, you can go first.
Mollycoddling, I'm trying to understand what we're saying. So first, are you saying where some people are faking it?
I'm
Is that what we're saying
some people
here?
are taking advantage. Yeah, I'm saying that anxiety is real, but is it debilitating? Yeah, I'm saying that depression is real, but is it enough to stop you from progressing, moving forwards, getting on with your
And there's
life?
a spectrum to the depression.
Correct.
There's clinically depressed.
Correct.
And
And there's feeling a bit down.
Yeah.
And so all of those, I'm not saying that that's everybody, far from it. Again, I'm saying that the majority of people are using the systems appropriately, and with the fact that diagnoses have been increased is good, because we are helping much more young people at an early age, even if this is not as quick as we want. But that doesn't mean we should turn a blind eye to also the difficulties of the issues, which then is people trying to take advantage, people not wanting to work to achieve or to try and find an easier route. And again, I'm just saying that is real.
Yeah, no, I can see the fact that, mental health is a difficult thing to kind of give something
Quantify,
tangible
yeah.
and quantify. And so there must be a lot of things in place to really make it concrete,
Tangible.
that they have mental health issues. There's all these tests that take place.
Sorry, no. What is what is the process apart from is it diagnosis? Are there any other process to say this child is just a? I'm not trying to say all SEN kids.
He's
are annoying,
faking it.
but let's just say this child is. And again, we're not allowed to use words like. No, I'm just going to say non-SEN, right? This child is non-SEN.
Neurotypical.
Yeah, neurotypical, right? But there might be some behavioral issues, but then this child is SEN, right? Now, in that spectrum, it's large. There could be different behavior patterns. Does there need to be a diagnosis before it be like, that child is now SEN and needs SEN services?
No, so it depends, because if a child has a special educational need, they've got a special educational need, they might have autism, but maybe just hasn't been diagnosed, hasn't been captured yet. But then they have to go on the waiting list, and that waiting list takes a long time. So going back to what you were saying about the system being abused, one thing that I will say is that's prevalent is that because the NHS, the waiting list is so long, a lot of people go the private route. And what I've seen in the private route, in terms of maybe some of the diagnosis is from like a private pediatrician, or sometimes with a private EP report, they're putting a lot of things in some of these reports that almost exaggerate the child's needs. So then sometimes in some of these reports, it's difficult because it's private. It's hard to argue it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they're exaggerating the needs of the child so they can get X, Y, Z, whatever it is that they want. I've seen that happen. So I've had parents ask for private EP reports to come and do an assessment on the child. They've produced a report and it says this child can't do this and that. But when you speak to the school, it's like he or she's doing everything. They just maybe can't do this and that.
Okay.
But because they're paying like £1,000 for this report, you're gonna write in that report whatever the parent tells you to write. So that's one thing that I've seen, one angle where it's been abused, or like the goalposts have been shifted.
All right, so you know what? It's crazy because we have come to an end of this episode, right? But even me, forget what the audience. I need a part 2. I need to run back this way because I really did enjoy this episode. But so again, ladies and gentlemen, if you do have any questions about this episode, or again you've got a scenario, something in your real life that you want to ask about, I need some advice, message us and let us know about it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. But yeah, that's another episode of the Teacher Surgery. Let's go.